told me that you actually broke your leg twice.
It was 30 seconds into the game. We were playing a straight team, so there's always a grain of stuff, but it wasn't a hate crime. And as soon as I rolled over and saw my leg, the first thing was not, oh my God, my leg is broken. I go, I can't go to Bingham. Injuries happen like any sport.
I feel like a lot of rugby injuries, a big number of them happen when you're doing the most like random thing. Like one of our teammates, I remember he broke his collarbone like catching a ball. And then another teammate broke both his collarbones when Jack tackled him during practice.
No, he tackled me.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, I had a breakaway. I was about to score a try.
I injured my knee when someone landed on my knee.
Yeah, and then Ozzy also had his face injury that he never recovered from. What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Gay Rugby Podcast. I'm Jack.
I'm Ozzy.
And today we are in beautiful, sunny Palm Springs, California for the Rucktacular Rugby Festival. And we are joined by Chris Brandenburg from the Portland Lumberjacks Rugby Club. How's it going, Chris?
Going great, guys. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. We're happy to have you.
Excited to be here.
Are you enjoying the weather out here in Palm Springs?
I am a Palm Springs virgin. This is my first time here. So
oh, nice.
The fact that it's hosting Rucktacular this year is even better. It's cherry on top.
Oh, we're happy to have you.
Thanks for having me.
And I'm sure everyone else is going to be happy to have you. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
If I'd stop having all of these meetings. I'm just kidding.
So, Chris, how did you find out about the Portland Lumberjacks and what inspired you to join the team?
I met some of the team just socially. And after a year of being badgered, is that the right word? Badgered, cornered.
Yeah.
I mean,
Harassed.
constantly saying no. No means no. And then finally was like, fine. They're like, just come to a practice and try it out. And then so I did, and I never left. I've been here 4.5 years now, and now I'm the president, so I'm kind of here forever, I think.
Yeah.
But it just kind of holistically fell together. Like, they were great people, and I love to be active, so.
And had you played rugby before?
No, I have not. So rugby is not very big in the Midwest. Mm-hmm. Soccer, football, baseball, those kinds of things.
In the USA?
Yeah.
So, right. So,
big,
and we didn't have it at the high school level or even the club level, really. And so coming out here, I'm saying, had watched a few games, but wanted to kind of try it out and see what it was like. And I think for a lot of players, once you see it once, you're just like, I love this.
Yeah.
I want to get in here and learn more. And so that's what I did.
Before a match, we stretch, we hydrate, we tape up. Nobody really talks about prepping the rest of your body.
Yeah, I mean, the last thing I want to do is be at the bottom of a scrum or a ruck and then smelling like BO because someone didn't properly shower.
And that's where Hey Sweet Cheeks comes in. They make clinical grade skincare and sex care products for everybody.
So we can use them before we get on the pitch and then after.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
No shame, just confidence. They're queer owned and their products are amazing. So make sure to check them out and upgrade your self-care routine. Check them out at heysweetcheeks.co. There's an adrenaline rush that happens when you play rugby and you've never played before and you didn't really realize that you had that in you.
Exactly. It's the most physical sport that I've ever played in my entire life, bar none. And I can't believe that I get an opportunity to play it.
How long have the Portland Lumberjacks been around? It's one of the newer teams, right?
So we're celebrating our 10th year in existence this year. It started out as the Avalanche.
Oh,
and they were around for a couple of years, and then it went away. And from the ashes arose the Lumberjacks, and now we've been here for 10 years. So there are straight teams that have been in Portland for much longer, but we, as the queer team, this is our 10th season in existence. Nice.
I remember it was one Rucktacular a few years ago that you guys came and we did something together. I don't know if you were around back then, but you might remember this. We did a fundraiser for the Portland Lumberjacks. Do you remember that? Or
I wasn't there, but everyone's they were like, oh, we're fundraising for this team because they don't really exist. Or it was kind of like a joke. They're like, no, we're around. We play. And so they're like, no, it was kind of a rib. I wasn't there yet, but I did hear about it.
Yeah. No, I think there was some situation, and something similar happened to us where some money went missing or something, and it was a huge deal. And so we did what we knew we could do, which is let's get together, fundraise, and make sure that the Lumberjacks stay the Lumberjacks. And so I'm happy that that happened.
There were a couple times, at least that I heard after I joined the board, that the team almost folded. We got very close to being insolvent and not being able to do it. But through generous players and people in the community, they were able to keep it afloat. And now we've got a really solid board and financial plan in place that hopefully that doesn't happen again.
I love it.
Great. My biggest question for you is, where do I get one of those tank tops?
I know. I like the color.
So this is an old design. Our former president had just a tattoo artist do a pinup design for him, and we sell out of it every single time that we have it. So you never know. We might bring it back. But we have pink and blue, and every year at Pride, they sell out. And in the first day, they're just gone, and people want them ordered. But we haven't found a great way to have them mailed ordered on our website yet. But we are working with a vendor to see if we can do it. But
okay. Well, you can leave this one here when you leave.
I mean, you can. Everything's earnable.
Oh, cut off the lights.
Where's the whistle? I'm just kidding.
Oh, you won't need it.
We've talked to a lot of other rugby clubs today. San Francisco FOD, for example, they are bringing 3 sides and 70 players. All the different clubs that are different place in their recruitment journey. What's that like for you guys? And are you struggling to have to bring in players? I know you said that you're right now joining with the Spicy Rugby Club from New Mexico City.
Hashtag Spicy Lumberjacks.
Yeah, hashtag Spicy. Oh, I love that. Spicy Lumberjacks.
They're actually from Querétaro. The Spicy
okay.
Rugby. Yeah. They're from
okay.
Querétaro. But Mexico City, Querétaro, whatever. No, but they're from Querétaro.
Yeah. What's been your experience recruiting in Portland? Where have you seen success, and where do you think you could improve?
So we do phenomenal at Pride, and like that is our biggest recruiting event. We're in the parade. Last year we got to hold the banner at the front of the parade and walk. So that was like an awesome thing to be chosen for.
Yeah.
And we have friends and families and other members of other clubs who aren't part of our team asked to join and walk if they can, because they're just trying to promote rugby around our city.
Yeah.
The winter gets a little bit harder, like Seattle. You know, we get kind of gray and rainy, and it's cold, and people don't want to play when it's wet and cold. So
is that when your season is in the
so
winter?
we have 2 seasons. So we have like a fall season that goes from August until the end of October is when our games are, and then this is kind of the end of our fall season.
Yeah.
We'll have a break, and then we'll start up again at the end of February, and then we go from February until the end of May.
Okay.
So we kind of have 2 seasons.
So you have a little break in the summer.
Yeah. Right, because we can't, in Portland in the winter, we can't play on grass fields because it rains, and we would tear them up. So we can only play on turf fields, and there's only so many turf fields to go around. And,
and turf fields hurt when you take a hit.
And youth soccer and youth sports kind of take precedent, which I totally understand and we're okay with. But we do get a nice little break from like Christmas until February, which is great because we have 4 months of straight rugby practice. So it's a nice chance for people to heal and get ready, and then we get to do things like this.
Yeah. How many people are showing up to an average practice?
I would say anywhere from 15 to 25 on kind of a given, right after Pride. We've had instances where we've had 40 or 50 people show up, and our coaches are like, this is a good problem to have. We don't have game plans for this, but we have so many that we now have 3 coaches. We have a full-time coach, a forwards coach, and a backs coach. Amazing. That's the first time that we've had that, like paid positions where we needed actually to have people there. So it's a good problem to have. And then as the season goes on with injuries and life commitments and stuff, it does dwindle, but we'll cycle back up in February and kind of start again. But we have consistent numbers.
Yeah, I like to think of like rugby in phases. Like phase 1 is like, oh, everyone shows up, like they're having fun. It's like the 101, you're learning what rugby is about. Phase 2, you start to like condition, and it scares some people off because they're like, oh wow, like I have to run, I have to do all these physical things, and they're not ready for it. And then like phase 3 is like actual contact, and I feel like there's another drop off when that happens, because that's when they realize like, oh, like we're hitting, and like this is not what I expected. So I think retention for a lot of teams is also an issue, because you start with these big numbers, but then you see those numbers kind of like dwindle down.
And we've changed our approach, and now we have a full-time coach, and he's been here, and this is his 3rd season, because every season we were going with a new coach who had a new philosophy. The 101 I went to, we played beer and hand rugby and walked around. We didn't do anything rugby related, and so there are only 2 of us that are left from my recruiting class. So our coach puts them into contact during 101 with a veteran player, and it's all controlled so they can get a little bit of taste, because he doesn't want to have it just be a party and then have them show up and be like, well, I don't want to do this. So this is what you're going to get, but it's going to increase week over week over week. And that's actually gotten us more numbers, because people get to see right away what's involved with it versus finding out a couple of weeks or a month later and then saying, no, I don't want to come.
Yeah.
That's good.
So that's helped.
Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously rugby is a very physical sport. We were talking before we started filming, and you told me that you actually broke your leg twice. And one thing that, we started this podcast in April, and a comment that we get a lot online is, can you talk about, injury and recovery? I wanted to ask you about your injuries and your recovery process. And then also, clearly you kept playing after your injury. So you have a love for the sport.
Against medical advice, but that's just a question. You just leave that box blank. But yes. So yeah, I broke my leg just playing rugby. It wasn't intentional. It didn't happen. It was on the kickoff. It was 30 seconds into the game.
That would be odd if it was intentional.
We were playing a straight team,
like, hey,
so
can you
that was
break
a great
my leg
stuff. But it wasn't a hate crime. It was just the
Oh,
way
I
that
see.
it's
Yeah,
just the way that it happened.
Yeah.
And I went to the hospital, had surgery the next day, and it happened at the end of March before we were going to Rome.
Oh, bummer.
And as soon as I rolled over and saw my leg, the first thing was not, oh my God, my leg is broken.
Oh, no, Rome.
When our captain ran over, I go, I can't go to Bingham. He goes, do not worry about that. Like, your leg is in a weird spot, so we're going to get you to the
That
hospital.
would have been my thought process too.
Just relax. But I ended up going to, I forced myself through physical therapy after I had my surgery done, and I went to Rome with no boot, with no crutches, just because I wanted to go and support my team.
Yeah.
And some non-refundable tickets. So I was like, I'm not gonna let this go to the wayside. Yeah. But I was at least able to go and support and get to help our team out. But recovery is each person takes their own recovery time. I'm somebody who can't sit there and just wait. Mm-hmm. So when they're like, you should only do these things, I'm like, oh, I'm already on page 17 of this packet. And they're like, oh, I go, I have things to do. And I actually played at Rucktacular last year, and that was my first game back from my injury, and I scored my first try. So
nice.
Crossed that off my list. I'm like, okay, so I've got broken legs, and I've got to try. So I've kind of hit my limit on what I need to do. And now that I'm president, I'm like, my cup is full. Yeah. I'm ready to see what else that I can do with this team. But yeah, injuries happen like any sport, and you just have to take it with a grain of salt.
And it sounds like you were very active with your recovery.
Right. I mean, like I said, sitting there and waiting for things, they're like, you should be on this timetable. And I go, well, if it doesn't hurt and I can get up and walk around, I'm going to do it. Yeah. Within limits, of course.
Yeah.
And everyone should listen to their doctor, I guess. And, but yeah, I was still going to practice. I was still helping out, picking up cones and balls and doing all of those things. Because we talk about community and those kinds of things. I missed being around those, and they helped me through that process by encourage me, and they're like, we can't wait to get you back on the pitch.
Yeah, so that's awesome.
It's funny. I feel like a lot of rugby injuries, like of course rugby injuries happen when you're like actually playing, but I feel like a big number of them happen when you're doing the most like random thing. Like one of our teammates, I remember he broke his collarbone like catching a ball during warm-ups.
I know who you're talking about.
And then another teammate broke both his collarbones when Jack tackled him during practice.
No, he tackled me.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
And then I remember I
had a breakaway. I was about to score a try.
I injured my knee when someone landed on my knee, like on the side during practice.
Yeah, and then Ozzy also had his face injury that he never recovered from. We're so sorry about that. But, we still love him. We support him. We get a lot of stares when we go out, but I'm always, telling people, don't stare.
Don't stare at my friend. Yeah. Thank you, Jack. See, this is why I'm still here. But yeah, so it's funny because people would assume that like these horrific injuries happen while you're actually playing rugby, like in a game, and it doesn't always happen that way. It's kind of funny.
Well, and for how physical the sport is, and people who watch it when they come up like to the Pride booth, they're like, "Do you get hurt?" And I'm like, "Do you want me to lie, or do you want me to be honest with you?" I'm like, "You're going to get." Or you're going to be sore and things are going to hurt for a while, but catastrophic. And I go, that's a broad term.
Yeah.
And don't take me for instance. I go, this normally doesn't happen, but it does, and it can.
But it's a possibility.
It is a possibility, right? But the possibility exists walking to the grocery store.
Yeah.
Like stepping off the sidewalk incorrectly. Or
people tear their ACL playing pickleball.
Yeah,
so you know what? If I break a finger playing rugby, I'm okay.
Yeah. And also like getting hurt is very subjective, right? Because what's getting hurt to someone is not necessarily getting hurt to the other. And I say that because we were saying this, I can't remember, I think it was like the fog when we were interviewing Garrett. Someone said like, the more you play rugby, the less it hurts because your body gets used to like the trauma.
Yeah.
So the more you do it, you I'm sure we all have bruises and cuts and stuff, and people look at us and are like, oh my God, you must be in pain. We're like, no, like this is normal.
Yeah.
And we're just used to it.
And that's why I really like playing in an inclusive team, because I feel like when I go out on the pitch, the other team wants to keep me safe, and everyone's working together to make sure that we are playing safe rugby, which I think is super important. That's why I love these inclusive tournaments, because I honestly feel very safe and protected, and I feel like the other team is prioritizing safety, which is great.
And it's all about having fun at
Yes.
the end of the day. You know, you're playing rugby, that's fun. The third half, a lot of fun. After party, a lot of more fun. So yeah, like you can play competitively, aggressively, without having to injure someone.
So, Lumberjacks, what are your goals for 2026? And where do you see the club going in the next year, the next 5 years?
I just want us to keep growing and learning and getting out there more and teaching people more about rugby. We're one of the founding members of the Oregon Sports Alliance, which helps connect queer people all over the city into sports of some fashion.
Amazing.
So we have this pipeline. So if we get people to come to our practice and say, I've never done sports, this is a little too much for me, I can have them reach out to a softball person or a dodgeball or kick or something else. We want to keep them within the sports community so that they have an opportunity to do it, because a lot of people don't get an opportunity to do that when they're growing up, especially if they're transitioning or if they're, checking on their sexuality. They feel like they can't do that. And rugby is a great opportunity for people to play, but it could be too intense for somebody. And we're not out to hurt people. We want to make it safe. But I want everyone to have an opportunity to try organized sports, not being ostracized and not being said, you can't do this. It's like, let us show us what we can do for you.
You mentioned transitioning. Do you guys have a lot of trans players on your team?
We do. It was exciting last year when we went to Rome for Bingham that we had 2 players from our team that were playing in the trans inclusive match for the first time. And it was so awesome to be able to stand on the sides and shout their names and have all these other ruggers shouting their names too. And it was so great to give them the opportunity to do that. But we, moving to Portland, coming from Minnesota, I knew some trans people, but I didn't know them well enough to say, like, you are a friend or I know who you are. Rugby taught me that. And I got to know them and got to learn about them. And I don't care who you are and what you define yourself as, but if you're going to be on the pitch and be my teammate, we're going to get along and we're going to be friends, and I'm here to support you as long as you're supporting me.
Yeah.
And so rugby has really done that, and it's been one of the things that I'm really most proud of with our club is that it's with rugby, people often assume that it's only men can play or only women can play. I go, it is for anybody. If you want to come out and get tackled and tackle people, you can come join our club. We don't care. Just we want you to be safe. We want you to have fun. And not all teams are like that. So the fact that we get off that people, I think is fantastic.
Yeah. We consistently talk about like having safe spaces. Inclusive rugby is a safe space. And like you said, if rugby is not for you, you find them an alternative. And if you are at home and you're watching this and you didn't know that rugby was a thing here in the States, or you're in the Portland area and you're interested, go check out Portland Lumberjacks socials. Go check it out. You might be surprised. You might be good at rugby and you just don't know it yet. We interviewed the San Diego Armada before you, Danny, the president of the Armada. So we are doing this thing during the Rucktacular Tournament where we ask our guests to ask one question to the next team that's coming. So the Armada's question to you is, how is your club weathering the political storm that's happening in your community, and what are some tips that you can give them?
So it's been interesting, and I hope other cities don't have to go through this. And I said, but when the president of the United States is calling your city a shithole and saying that it's on fire and it's a war zone, it doesn't feel great. It really doesn't, especially being part of an ostracized community. It's like we really banded together, and the things,
especially when it's a lie.
And the things that I would tell other cities, if you watch what we did in Portland, I mean, go buy an inflatable frog suit, stand outside, get your friends there, sing, play cards. People do Zumba classes outside of those facilities because we're killing them with kindness and showing them that our city is welcoming, is livable. People want to come here and feel safe here. And what they're talking about is going on is not what's actually going on. And the community is stepping up and saying, enough is enough.
Yeah.
Leave our city, get out of here, leave our friends and our family and our players and our teammates alone, and let us be who we are. So if they are showing up in your city and you're not sure what to do, get your friends together, get pink wigs, go do something and make them see the beauty of your city and your community. And the more you do that, I promise they will end up leaving because they're tired of the press, of the positive press, because it goes against what they're trying to, their narrative is.
Kill them with kindness, right?
Exactly.
Love that.
So we're not sure the order in which we will be interviewing the next few teams tomorrow because we are on the pitch. So what's one general question that you would ask one of the other clubs? And it could be something funny, something campy, something philosophical. whatever you want.
How do you get the smell of man or rugby smell out of your jerseys? Because I can't do it, and they smell a little bit. Tips would be helpful for Dad. I appreciate it. I want to make them nice and smell fresh, and I can't get the smell of rugby out of our fabric.
Okay.
Well, you know what? I am not sure how to get it out of your fabric, but I definitely know how to get it off of my body. And that's where Hey Sweet Cheeks comes in. They're at the intersection of skincare and sex care. Upgrade your self-care routine. Check them out at heysweetcheeks.co. Chris, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
It was so exciting to talk to you and to learn more about the Portland Lumberjacks Rugby Club, the history, and your history playing with them as well. We want to thank our audience for tuning in. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and share. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure that you hit that bell to change your notification preferences to notify all. That way, you're not going to miss out on any new episodes as they come out. Make sure that you follow us on all social media platforms at Gay Rugby Podcast. And remember,
Don't just play the sport.
change the sport. Woo! Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, guys.
Take that shirt off.
I
Turn the
want
cameras
it.
off.
I
I'm
want
going
it.
to jump him right now.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning into another episode of the Gay Rugby Podcast. If you liked this video, do us a favor and subscribe. Hit that bell to change your preferences to notify all, and that way you'll get a notification every time a new episode comes out, which is going to be every Monday. So share this video with a friend, like, comment, and we appreciate the support. We'll catch you on the rugby pitch. See ya.